Skawo. Skawo. Oh yeah, Mario time! Huh. Oh yeah! Woohoo! This way! Huh. Let's go! Oh yeah, Mario time! Yeah! Let's go! Let's go. Yeah.